So we have our solution. We have something that's rarer than gold, rarer than lithium, rarer than copper, cobalt, any of the other elements, and it's sitting right here in Saguenay-Lac-Saint-Jean, Quebec.
So, Dr. Passalacqua, phosphates, from the ores to the energy transition, what do you think for next future?
Yeah, so first of all, thank you, Mr. Dinotto and Dr. Dinotto. And so yes, we have been able to make from the property of Bégin-Lamarche here in Saguenay-Lac-Saint-Jean, Quebec, all the elements into the LFP battery. So the phosphate and the iron have gone into the cathode of this battery, and the lithium has come from Nevada, from Century Lithium, and in the anode, it's material from Nouveau Monde Graphite, which is a company here as well from Quebec. So this is, yes, we can get to the entire battery made here in North America, in Canada, and that was the purpose of the conference, to see if we could do it. So I think we have answered the question of the conference, and would like to thank Dr. Zaghib.
I saw your presentation and was really impressed on your plan and your strategical, and we saw the product, and they have the product in my pocket here, so I touched the product. Can you tell us what's your vision, what's your strategy to accelerate this kind of the chain supply? I saw it from vertically from the mine to the first transformation, second transformation, and going to really to high purity phosphoric acid and the cathode materials, and then beyond.
Yeah, so thank you, Doctor. So what we've done since the beginning, we started from the igneous and orthosite rock that's transformed into phosphate concentrate. Phosphate concentrate is then transformed into phosphoric acid. Phosphoric acid is mixed in with the iron, and then we get iron phosphate. So we've made the iron phosphate as well. And then we've been able to make the lithium iron phosphate, cathode active material, and then put that into the battery. So our vision is to be able to have the whole supply chain, so if you call it from the left to the right, here in North America, that would get us all the way not only to making cells, but then to making final products, smaller cells like these 8650s, prismatic cells as well.
Because I can tell you, lead acid battery was staying for 160 years, and LFP technology for me is another 100 years. So we are really on the best way, and I hope that some investors looking at, I spent over 30 years working in this material, which I believe a lot. So,
how do you see Canada in relationships with Europe?
Well, Dr. Dinotto, it's actually a very good question because, and we're quite fortunate, the deposit of phosphate is found at 70 kilometers from Port Saguenay, which is a deep sea port with direct shipping to Europe. Mm-hmm. So one of our larger off-takers of phosphate concentrate and phosphoric acid is European. So we're already going to be delivering the raw materials to Europe. Now also for the iron phosphate and the lithium iron phosphate, we have had significant inquiries from Europe as well. There's interest in being able to source from countries that are friendly, right? We're pretty friendly, I hope.
Yes.
And so we will remain that way, obviously. And so there's a massive opportunity for our company in Europe and to work together. There's a lot of great partnerships as well between Europe and Canada that are forming. As you know, our Prime Minister, Mr. Carney, has been to Belgium, had numerous meetings in Brussels with European leaders, and they're trying to open up these channels, but even stronger, right? And they want to, I believe before we used to talk a lot about it, but now they really wanted to put it into action. So we're quite grateful for, Belgian Prime Minister Carney, European leaders that are really starting to see the necessity, right, given the the trade situation in the world, to really make these partnerships happen. So we're quite happy, we're quite thankful, and I think we will be meeting in Padova, huh?
Yeah, of course.
Of course. Anyway, so thank you so much. We enjoy your presentations. Thank you for supporting OREBA, and I believe our friend John Goodenough we really like your presentation, what you are doing for our countries, and hopefully that LFP will be accelerated here in Canada, and we wish you good luck.
Igneous and orthosite rock. Joey, did you want to circle around some of the igneous and orthosite rock? This has got ilmenite, magnetite, and phosphate in it. So we use that with our partners Prayon to make purified phosphoric acid. Then with our partners, GK and Hoganese, which are the world's largest atomizer of steel powder, through a scrap process, they took scrap and they melded in some of the magnetite from Bégin-La-Marche. We made iron. So we had two. We had phosphate and iron from Bégin-La-Marche. We then took those two and guess what? Fully autonomously, we made this iron phosphate right there. And then we took the iron phosphate and we took the lithium carbonate from Century Lithium and we made LFP CAM. And then we went to our friends at Nouveau Monde Graphite. I don't know if anybody knows them, right here in Montreal. And we took the LFP CAM and we took the anode material and we gave it to Altian Technologies in Nevada, and they made these battery cells with us. These are battery cells that contain all critical minerals from North America. Obviously not the electrolyte, we don't make it here, but it contains the lithium, the iron, the phosphate, all from North America, all mostly from Quebec, 3 out of 4 from Quebec. From Quebec, the phosphate, the iron, and the graphite, and then the lithium carbonate from the US, and assembled in the US as well. So there we are. This is the reveal. We wanted to answer the question, is it possible to make battery cells, LFP battery cells, from North American materials? And the answer is yes, we can do it. It's right there. So I think a big moment. I think it's a big moment. I mean, I think we bring this back. It's been 20 years that it's left North America. We have the technology now to do it. Mind you, small pilot production, nothing special. These are commercial grade, but they are battery cells. And it's the beginning of something really, really big here in North America. And we're proud to be a part of it. We're proud that you're a part of it as well today. And we thank Kareem and all of his staff for all their support, as usual, in making this happen. Thank you very much. Everything goes right. The only thing in our way right now is financing, and it's coming. It would be 2029, Q2 2029. And I know you say I'm crazy, but we've been crazy till now, and look what we've done. So we're going to keep being crazy, and we're going to make a mine by 2029. I'm quite confident of it, and I think that's a timeline that you need realistically, and we know we have to hit that timeline. Otherwise, we lose out. Canada loses out. But we're going to do it. We've done it. We've done it in miniature. Now we just got to blow it up in big. We need support from our academic community, as Mr. Zaghi was saying, to please, we got to really expedite this, right? It really depends on it's a security, right? It's a security matter for North America, right? We're far behind. We got to catch up. We got to catch up in proper ways, but we can do it. I'm just so proud that today we say, hey, you know what? We can do it, right? Everybody says you can't do it. You can't do it. It's this, it's that, it's the price. We can do it. You build it, and then you refine it. That's what we're doing.
Thank you.
Okay. Really, phosphate is a big one, right? And they're saying we're going to need 33 new purified phosphoric acid plants required by 2030 to meet demands from LFP, just in the Western world. So what does that mean? So we need 33 new ones. How many do we have in the Western world? Does anybody know? How many purified phosphoric acid plants? 5. Sank, huh? We have 5. We actually pioneered it in the Western world. It was companies like Prayon, one of our strategic partners. It was companies also in Israel. There's 2 companies. There's one in the US, Nutrien, and there's another one in Mexico, Innophos. So we have about 5 of these plants in the Western world. We need 33 more. Now, where's the problem with this? Okay, no problem. We'll just create 33 new plants, right? Well, okay, but if you're using, there's 2 types of phosphate. There's sedimentary rock, which is what we're using right now for fertilizer. And the reason we use it is because it's easy, it's low grade. We purify it quickly, we make fertilizer. But in order to go up to purified phosphoric acid, the issue is you have to further refine that merchant grade phosphoric acid. So what does that mean? Well, you take sedimentary rock, sometimes only 10, 20, maximum 30%, depends if you're going to pollute the environment, you might get a little bit higher, of that MGA from sedimentary rock can be transformed into purified phosphoric acid. Well, what do you do with the rest of it? You have fertilizer, right? So how many, we've already got enough fertilizer in the world. So to create those 33 new phosphoric acid plants based on fertilizer, you would have to open up, about another world or 2 of fertilizer fields. Get it? If not more. If we colonize Mars, maybe, right? So what do you need? You need a special type of phosphate. Is there a phosphate out there where when you take it, 100% of it, 100% of it goes into making purified phosphoric acid for batteries? Wow, wouldn't that be cool? Well, it exists. It's igneous phosphate. It's 5% of the world's reserves of phosphate. 4% are carbonatites. They're found in places like Brazil, Russia, Finland, and we also have some in Africa. They're not very accessible in Africa. Brazil, they have rare earths, so it goes into basically fertilizer. And in Russia, they do purified, but that's obviously an issue with sanctions. So in Saguenay-Lac-Saint-Jean, Quebec, we have the igneous and orthosite. To date, it wasn't too really recognized because we only needed phosphate for fertilizer. But now that we need phosphate for LFP battery, wow, what an opportunity. 100% of this phosphate turns into purified phosphoric acid, battery grade, without having to pass through the fertilizer industry. So us as a company, in Igneous Phosphate, we go direct to where the holy grail is, the PPA. We take you directly to PPA for batteries. We don't have to touch the fertilizer industry. We're not interested in it at all. There's major players in there. It's commoditized. We don't need it. Other nice thing about this purified phosphoric acid from igneous rock is the gypsum byproduct is 100% recyclable. You can make it into plaster. You can make it into mobile housing that then can be transported up north. Great solution for some of our northern housing problems, indigenous solution as well. So when we look here to the right, so this is purified phosphoric acid. This is a CRU group. I find that, they're great. They're very conservative. They're going to come out with a very conservative estimate. Wow, how conservative is that? We're going to need twice as much PPA as there currently is, and that's conservative. It's really going to go like this. If you need 33 new of these, benchmark, that means this thing's going to go like this. And it's going to keep going, and maybe it'll turn around that way. So basically, this is the supply of purified phosphoric acid. Those 5 plants that I told you about that make purified phosphoric acid, 2 in Israel, 1 in Belgium, 1 in the United States, and 2 in the United States. Interphos is half between Mexico and the US. They make that much PPA. And this is why they have this line as constant. To 2045, it's not going to change, because how else would they do it? They'd have to make more fertilizer, but we don't need more fertilizer. So the solution is something else, igneous rock. Now, you see this is the trend on PPA. So the trend on PPA is already going to outstrip the supply of PPA. Okay, so where do we get it for batteries? Well, we've got to double it, according to the CRU group. And like I said, they're really, if you follow what these guys say, 33 new really kind of goes like this. So that's why the secret of igneous rock, very important to be able to get the Western world to where we need to go in terms of the PPA for LFP, if we truly want to go there. I mean, we've heard a lot of scientific presentations today, but at the end of the day, it comes down to the raw materials, right? So we want the raw materials to make the solution happen. It's got to have to be igneous rock. Well, it's different. If you don't have oil, right, you don't have commerce. But if you don't have phosphate, guess what happens? Within 3 to 6 months, you might wipe out, I can't give you the stat, but a good number of the global population. So it's a real serious thing that we've never given any kind of real concern or thought to. We always talk about oil, peak oil, and what's going to happen without oil, but what happens without phosphate? And we don't have much phosphate left in North America. There's no more than 10 years of it. And it's all sedimentary stock. And we want to get to the LFP battery. And as you know, it wouldn't be politically very comfortable to take phosphate from the mouth and put it into the gas tank, so to speak, right? So you need a new source of phosphate. And you need a new source of phosphate that can make a lot of purified phosphoric acid for batteries. And only igneous rock can make 100% conversion into purified phosphoric acid. So we have our solution. We have something that's rarer than gold, rarer than lithium, rarer than copper, cobalt, any of the other elements, and it's sitting right here in Saguenay-Lac-Saint-Jean, Quebec. So that's about 6 million vehicles. So there's 12 million vehicles produced across North America, Canada, US, and Mexico. We'd be able to power 6 million of those. So half the fleet of what's produced for 23 years. So that would only be 5% of the phosphate requirement for North America. Where's the other 95 going to come? Well, they were accurate. We need 33 new plants, right? So we're going to try and start and build one, and we'll go from there. So again, I was talking about gravel, right? I was talking about when you find gold, you're finding veins, these 2-3 meter veins of gold, and you can mine it. And if it could be far out, you could put it on a helicopter. A helicopter would move to the city, and you'd be a billionaire just filling up a helicopter with gold. If you filled up a helicopter with phosphate, how much would you get? It wouldn't even cost the gas. You might get $1,000, okay? Because it can go anywhere from, this igneous phosphate can go anywhere from $300 to $700 US a ton. So you have to be close to infrastructure. If you're not close to infrastructure, you got a big problem. So we identified a lot of properties in the Saguenay-Lac-Saint-Jean area, and we were lucky God placed this just like Morocco. He gave them the right amount of phosphate, the great sedimentary grade. Well, God gave something to Saguenay-Lac-Saint-Jean. What was that? Phosphate, the very high purity igneous phosphate at 70 kilometers from the deep sea port of Saguenay, right at the end of the municipality, just right where it's sort of the backcountry and the crown land start, and we're right there. We're right in between two towns, Bégin and La Marche, that had very strong forestry industry at the time. That's all dying now for various reasons. They needed a new industry. So it's a great way to revitalize this region, right? Because there's also aluminum in that area, but the aluminum plant is creating always fewer and fewer jobs. The forestry industry, we've had major closures based on what's going on with trade relations and other. So this is a great new industry for Saguenay-Lac-Saint-Jean, Quebec. And like I said, we're sitting at 40 kilometers from the intermodal truck to rail station. We're sitting 70 kilometers from the deep sea port of Saguenay, and we're right beside the NATO base as well. We recently received a MET rating from the Department of Defense of the United States for our project. They feel it's can satisfy the needs for the U.S. Department of Defense in terms of its phosphate and LFP needs for North America. And we're sitting also on a major rail line and to our off-takers in Europe by boats. Built, the open pit mine will be started, and we will be extracting and concentrating, creating a apatite, which is what creates purified phosphoric acid. We'll be creating 900,000 tons of this. Okay, it's a reasonable quantity. It's a smaller, manageable, human-sized type mine, and the reason is we're not touching the fertilizer industry at all. We just need it for LFP, so we can be smaller, we can be more nimble, and we're making 900,000 tons of this. In order to make the phosphate, though, we pull out the magnetite and the ilmenite, okay, through magnetic separation, and then we float the apatite. So we also have a recovery of magnetite, believe it or not. Magnetite makes iron, lithium iron phosphate. Believe it or not, what I'm going to show you here, in those LFP battery cells that we just made, there's iron from Bégin La Marche, and there's phosphate from Bégin La Marche.